Welcome everybody to the Red Bull Ring. It is a pretty eventful day for the GT Thrustmaster challenge. It is, well, the Red Bull Ring. I mean, come on. Everybody knows about the Red Bull Ring. It's synonymous with speed, right-hand turns, some left-hand turns, and going fast. But, you know, usually just a very quiet part of the, well, the Spielberg area in Austria, with a very calm, but probably picking up wind of 13 kilometers an hour, with it blowing to the southwest. Track temperature at 27 degrees Celsius with a Fahrenheit value of 80 Fahrenheit out on track. The drivers are currently going around as of right now. Let me see, where can I find them? Where can I find them? Where are they? There's one. The man of the hour. There he is. Yuko Leskala. Car number 2 today. In, well, I'd say the hot seat, because he's proven that he can do the do. But can he do it over the next 7 to 8 weeks? It is round 4 here at the Red Bull Ring. It'll be a challenge to keep that going all the way through. As of currently right now, we have the majority of people sat in GT1 class, 5 GT2s, 15 GT1s. Plenty of people out and about with some new faces, actually, and I have not seen yet. David Baracloch of TFR Lab livery. Benjamin Hackerson. Oh, Hackerson. Sorry. Got his name all right. I've already gotten the name wrong. Well, there I am, fired. He's doing well, though. Currently setting his first lap. As is Yuko Leskala, who did not set a tentative lap time that time by. Also, when you hop on board of them, your ears get blasted. Or they're probably just mine. In the two groups, we can see how the distribution goes across, with the car number 3 of Felipe Paiva currently sitting in P1 with a representative time of 1:25.373. Let's see what he can do. Can he go faster? 4th gear. 5th gear. He does not go... He only goes slightly faster, but it's enough. It is enough. Brian Diaz, is he going faster in his anime vehicle? Why would you do that to such a great car? Breaking my heart out here. In GT2, it is Scheisseg, Whittaker, Olsen, Matson, and Javier Mosquera slotting in 4th, and that is Brian Diaz. He's completed his laps, but a bit of a spin for him puts him out to all sorts. Most of everybody has at least done a lap. Hackison, by the way, the one that we saw in the number 7 on our screens, did not set a representative lap. He did 3 laps and did not set any time in any of them. So he is going to be starting right at the back of the field, but he's probably hoping that it's going to be a bit of a elbows out situation when it comes into it. Filippo Cala is the second to last one. Barcloch coming across the line, pips it up into second, just behind Yuko Leskala, who set a time and smashed it out of the park with a 1:25.060. I still find it funny that he put the Finnish flag on his car just to make sure that everybody knew. I am the one who knocks. And this pit is definitely not going to be used unless you've had an accident out there. Especially given the fact that it is a very sharp turn right as you get down to it. I don't think Filippo Calva is going to set a lap. So that is going to be essentially everybody that has ever set a lap. Set a lap. And let's go through the qualifying results. Yuko Lescala for the GT1s sets a 1:25.060 ahead of Baraclow. 1:25.323 with Paiva in third position with a 1:25.362. Jurka with a 1:25.554 puts himself into fourth position. Potter with a 1:25.916 with Diaz in the anime livery, a 1:26.268 as we see the car number 18 getting some rallying in. It's not a rally time, it's a motocross, not rallycross. Alright, in seventh with a 1:26.421. Hazley with a 1:26.697. McCoy 1:27.293. Carter with a 1:28.395. Then we get into the GT2s. A 1:28.550 seals the deal for Scheich with a 1:28.550. Whittaker with a 1:28.761. John Olsen in the old boys crew with a 1:28.919 puts him into third. Moscari, you said you were new to this car. That's a lie, because I've seen this particular livery multiple times with a 1:29.587. Get called out with Matson, a 1:31.603 with the Twister on his number 19 car. The rest of them that did not qualify are going to be lining up in the GT1 class. They were Benjamin Hackison, Nicholas Calhoun, Arnold Koch, Filippo Cala, and Ross Smith. The 12th version of Ross Smith. There's 12 Ross Smiths at least on the service. I see a V12 Vantage GT1. Which one of you did that? Huh? Which one of you soiled us with that? Yeah, I see you. Is that you, Hazley? No, you didn't do it. No. Where is it? There it is. Calhoun. It's the wrong car, mate. That's the DBR9. I'll not have it set in my name, but checking the temperatures once again. 27 degrees Celsius with an 81 degree Fahrenheit, 11 kilometers an hour, 12 kilometers an hour south winds. Shouldn't pose too much of a trouble for the boys out there. Current sim time is going to be 12:16, probably wrong. At a track temperature, it's going to be at 4.28 kilometers in length at an altitude of 677 meters above the sea level. Mostly cloudy, shouldn't pose too much of a problem. But then again, this is the Fanatec GT Challenge. There are the cars. Let's get the time. 30 minutes of racing here. An estimated 22 laps. Probably going to be 21, given everything that's everything in my brain. And this is Yuko Lescala's rear end. He's going to have a lot of cars going up against him into turn 1. But hopefully everything will be nice and handy. Main thing for the GT1s is to not do what many people would do and just run it into turn 1 in the Niki Lauda. And then, run each other off the road. Red Bull Mobile 1. And off he goes, Yuko Lescala, wasting no time. Tick the clock down as the green flag waves. And just charged. He did not even give a chance. He just said, no, go away. You're not taking my first position. Coming through, that's going to be Stefan Hazley. Having issues there. He's side by side with Christian Arzt. Coming up through the back straight on towards Remus. Who's going to blink first? Inside goes car number 9. That is going to be Christian Arzt. But he makes a lock up. Stefan Hazley on the outside. Keeping it steady. Needs to stop. this battle as it keeps on going into Schlossgold. Make your day a happy day. I don't think that's going to be happy for Hazley. He would want to have a, you know, a go at Jason Potter, who's running away. Coming back into the GT2's single file lines. Nice and easy. John Olsen in the middle there. He's probably wanting to look at getting up to speed with things. He is comfy there. But is he comfy enough? Let's ride on board with him. As Fabian Scheisseg blinking in and out of existence. Oh! In and out of existence. Keep it steady, John. This is a tricky car. That's Seth Whittaker up ahead in the very iconic red and blue iRacing staff livery, as Seth probably is praying that the car doesn't snap on him. Oh, very wide coming through into Red Bull Mobile. Wide. Remember that you have to keep it nice and steady. I'm going to say that a lot, by the way. Don't go too wide coming out of Red Bull Mobile, otherwise you're going to get a right dastardly penalty. And it's going to affect you quite a lot. By the way, poor Arts really wants to keep battling. He's under threat from Hackison. Arnold Koch. Oh, not the day he wanted. Let's have a look. Oh! And the car goes, whoa! Yeah, kept the stationary, kept it good. But not what he wanted. Hackison on your screen, side by side with Arts. Arts really under threat now. He's already lost the advantage that he had. Zipping through car number 9, car number 7, battling it side by side. Two iconic machines of the same type. Of the C6R. With the massive amount of engine that is. My B8 motor in my front end. My B8. Back to single file though. Good on them. This is Felipe Paiva chasing down Yuko Lescala up ahead of him. And with a lot of screaming in the car, I'd imagine, because he wants this car to go absolutely 100% faster. But, oh, a little bit of a mistake there from Yuko Lescala. Opens the door. Does the DBR9 have the power to put down? He does not. Gets a better launch off the corner of Remus. And Paiva does not force the issue into Schlossgold. Filippo Calva, by the way, or Cala, by the way, made another spin. So he is now... Oh! That's Lescala! Mistake! Uncharacteristic. What on earth? Slipping through Roush. That's given the lead to Felipe Paiva. Oh, dearie me. And that is going to really upset the cornflakes of Yuko Lescala, who I don't think would want that to have happened. Well, I don't think anybody would want that to have happened, but you get the picture. Sorry for the straight. Up through, completing lap 3 onto lap 4. Petr Jurka of the yeah, upset the cornflakes. It is a new one. Yes, he did upset the cornflakes. Jurka chasing down Yuko Lescala. I'm trying to wager he's trying to get his mind at ease a little bit. You can definitely see bits of cause for comfort, and he didn't think that he would have this in front of him. Another car. But not only that, it's 2 cars in front of him that he has to make up. Going back to the corner that gave him so much trouble. Remember, the left-hander of Roush is in this car, you know, a bit timid. Take it in, keep it steady. Wait till the car a bit is able to wash out, put the foot down for a little bit. Wirth. Keep it cutting fine. Cut as much of the curb as you dare for 8. Then you come on to Rint in 9. Wide line, and then wide line again. It's a hit wide, hit wide, hit and then don't go too wide, because if you do, that's a slow down. Yeah, it looks like that that mistake that he had in turn 6 of Rausch. Oh, that is another problem. That's Parclo. Did he hit the wall? He didn't. But definitely definitely a sausage curb incident right there. Let's have a look. Probably the best angle for it. Did he hit the sausage curb? No. Well, the car was already spinning, and yeah, it did already start sliding. Unfortunately, just too much speed, and the car just is upset at that point, and unfortunately has to go around. And that does leave a very awful position for Jukka Leskala. He hasn't got a toe. Felipe Paiva is 2 seconds ahead of him, and that's outside the slipstream range for these cars, especially on the circuit like this. It's not like Le Mans where there's a big old straight for you to make up time. You kind of have to do with what you can. I can't even see what that says on the side of his car. Is that Tobili Krasi Racing? There you go. And the series is fun if you wish to join. The Discord is going to be the Fanatec GT, not the Fanatec GT, the GT Thrustmaster Challenge. I'm going to get bloody my teeth kicked in for that one. It is very fun. Strength of field races Thursdays and Sundays if you're interested at 9:15 Greenwich Mean Time. Stefan Hazley battling with Benjamin Hackison. Hackison making the move coming into turn 1. But it's not a done deal because look at this. That's Stefan pulling to the left-hand side. Side by side coming up into Remus. Wide line's going to be very bad through here, but that is a little bit of a slip. He could be baiting and switching. Could be, but I don't think Stefan had the run that he wanted coming out of that one. Especially when he looks in his mirrors, he kind of has to make sure that he doesn't make a mistake while he's doing it. Listen to that sound, by the way. Oh. Just DBR9. The lovely sound of a good old... I think it's a VA, isn't it? I think I got my teeth kicked in for that one. Stefan trying to keep Benjamin. Benjamin's been really quick, by the way. He has he was 6/10 of a second a lap faster that last time round over Stefan, and already has put his winter skis on and said, these slopes look like ski slopes. I shall go away now. He does eat a lot more of the sausage curve now, to be fair, than Stefan does. Stefan a bit more... Oh, this one has the V12. Okay. That's why it sounds so good. But Stefan definitely a bit more timid with the sausage curve, not wanting to scrape the floor. I mean, you go one wrong move with the sausage curbs on this track, your race is over. Jason Potter in 5th, chasing down fourth Brian Diaz in the DBR9 versus the C6R. Also, I love the fascination these lot had with the orange headlights. It was orange headlights, not the bright whites. I know the reason behind it is because, you know, this was the point where LEDs were just coming into the fray. But still, it reminds me of ye olde times when it was all orange. Even the DBR9, it's less orange, but it's still orange coming through. Coming back to the GT2s, if you are interested, by the way, in this series, I'd suggest the GT1s. The GT2s are, whew, best way to describe them. But John Olsen putting in work, keeping off Javier Mosquera in the Break for Our Lives car. Yeah, that car has a lot of stuff on it, and it still holds the thing of Huskenveld GT Challenge. It's been a while since that was a thing, mate. But chasing down Seth Whitaker, who's lost the rear end of Fabian Scheisseg. Good old pop from that engine. As it crosses the line, I think that is going to be lap 8 for them. Yes, it is. You can see one of the problems when you eat the sausage crisps, as in the background you saw Javier Mascara do it. It's a bit on rails because it's actually bottoming out the car. Old guys rolling the outside, new guys rolling the inside. I'd assume. John Olsen there, putting on the pressure. He sees this in his front end. Also, by the way, it says, how's my driving? 1-800-PROTEST. Just if you ever wanted to tell Nim Cross Jr. how Seth's driving is, it's the perfect way of doing it. But yeah, this car, the GT2 Ford, is a very, very tricky one. I drove it for all about 12 minutes before. It is a death trap and a half, and even the people who main this car agree and say that's why we love it. Suckers for punishment, but I love you for it. Stefan Hazley, issues in his neck of the woods. A little bit of a parava. Let's see what happened to him as he is under threat. We'll wait a moment. Under threat from a car that is called David Barclow. Barclow obviously coming back up into his stride as he had that mistake earlier, as we saw on turn 1. Coming out, bit of a slide. Ooh, off he goes. Three-way battle here for 6th position. Now, while I have the chance, let's have a look at his issue. Whoa! A little bit of a back end slide, and he had to check up the rest of the field, unfortunately. But good, very good saving of the car. And yeah, Fabian's running away with it, Dieter. You'll be happy to know. He's 5 seconds ahead of everybody else. But we'll come back to him in a second as we are looking at, I would say, 2 of the closest battles. Battle for 4th position and the battle for 6th position. That's Benjamin Hackinson on your screens right there. Behind him is David Barclow. And Stefan Hazley in the background there, looking to see if he can mop up something. I break my silence, by the way. That's John Olsen really putting the screws on Seth Whitaker. Almost had a move there for 2nd position in the final corner of Red Bull Mobile, but couldn't finish or execute it, and Seth just whisked it back into his hand. Oh, Hackison! Issues! As soon as I go away, it happens! He's got issues. Under threat. This was a replay now. Under threat from the car number 5, that is David Barclow. Did he make the mistake all on his lonesome? Yes, I think he did. Ah, the lazy slide out, unfortunately. Now, it might be better if we go onto his gyro to see. Oh, no, not his gyro. Let's have a look as part of his side camera. We'll slow it down for the pace. You just see a bit too much speed. The rear is disagreeing with him. He's having to really wheel it back. But unfortunately, the car just says, nope, I'm unfortunately going to give you the gravel trap to play with, and having to really struggle to get back on, and is under pressure from Paul Carter. That's the car number 14 right behind him. Brian Diaz with issues of his own. Another mistake, not a crash, can still keep going. Coming in through Schlossgold. And Benjamin, passed by Paul Carter. His day goes from bad to worse. Paul Carter making the move and moving up into 9th. The car number 14 doing well for himself. Pick up the pieces where you can, my boys. This is where the going gets good. Past the halfway point now. Felipe Paiva currently leading. That's a lapped car of Jem Matson being passed. Just wants to get out of the way, get past. Oh, that's a little bit of a bump. Yuko Leskola chasing him down though. Yuko Leskola is not the faster car of the two. Was a tenth of a lap slower on that last one. That's going to be Jen pulling off to the side, letting him by. Perfectly nice and acceptable. Biggest battle right now is David Barraclough with Jason Potter. Jason Potter in your right hand side. That is David really putting the screws on. Oh, dearie me. I think that was a little bit of a touch in the rear. And, oh, has to wait. Oh, dearie me. I think that might have been a bit of both, a bit of both. Let's have a look on the slow speed. If I can get the right camera angle. No, I cannot. Well, this is good as any. No, this is good as any. Did we hear... Oh, he did. A little bit of a tap. Unfortunately, David tapped him just a little bit. Not enough to cause any damage on the car, but that is probably a bit of netcode, but probably a little bit of a tap. Really close racing, unfortunately, will do that to you. Something has to give. Paul Carter, by the way, has actually picked up the pace a little bit. He's actually caught... Well, of course, Hackinson had that mistake, but he's caught up to him in a quite a big way. There was a second in between them. And unfortunately, Jason Potter has fallen back into 10th position with how his move, his spin went. Had to wait for the entire field to make him by. So, yeah. Really unfortunate for him. He might just have to put in essentially quali laps at this point to get back up into Paul Carter's reach, who is currently Jason Down Hackinson. On board with him now. Looking backwards. Hackinson is going to keep it steady. I think I'm going to make that a cast phrase. Carter a little bit squirrely coming through Remus. Not getting the power down. The power application in these cars, especially at this track, is very important because launches out of a corner can make up a few tenths of a lap by itself. Another lock up there. You can just see the smoke coming out of poor Carter. Probably just a little bit excited over the tentative meat hooks that he could get into in the back of Benjamin Hackinson's car, but just a bit too much excitement lost his way, drifting towards the back of Jason Potter, who is still chasing down. You can just see him there in front. Lapped car ahead, that's going to be Jem Matson. Not going to pose any of a threat, pulls off to the side, good lad. And head back to GT2. Let's check in with John Olsen and Seth Whitaker. Whitaker, with the rear wing blocking my view, is currently in second. Started second, is currently second. Oh, and I've chosen the exact wrong time to get the cameras on him because that is a little wobble. I know the banana livery was such a great livery, but on the contrary, this is actually much better. Side-by-side action coming through into the Rind Curve, Red Bull Mobile. Keeping it nice and one file at 1-to-1 at the moment. It's brought back Javier Mascara, by the way, who had that incident, by the way, in Niki Lauda, where he rode the sausage curve and lost a huge amount of time and then lost a slipstream. The battle between these two has actually brought him back, and he looks like he's going to make... Yeah, the broadcast look strikes instantly. I couldn't have said it better myself. Just instantly. Sorry, Seth. Don't yell at me when you watch this back and you see when I got the camera on you. Christian Arts chasing down Benjamin. Oh, that's another ride of the sausage curb. He's flashing. He's saying hi. I think. I'll do a little litmus test. I'll zoom in on him. Christian, flash if you can hear us. You're watching this. The cameras are on you. He probably isn't. Cheeky man. Anyways, he is currently chasing Benjamin Hackison, as I said before. Benjamin having a bit of an issue. Fell back down to 7th. Is climbing his way back up. He's putting in 1:26.358 on that last lap. He is not faster than the car ahead of him, who is going to be Brian D. In the Weeb livery. He's not faster than at this current pace, but let's see what happens when they cross the line. He was actually closing in on that last sector alone by 2/10. So it could be that within the last 8 minutes of this race, we're past 2/3 of the way. 6 laps to go. Could be a closing in. Yes, he is. 0.8 of a second taken out of him on that last lap. We are looking for some tasty last laps here in GT1. GT2, it's no slouch either. Javier Mascara has now officially started wailing his... Oh, Christ. His Soviet mobile to try and battle John Olsen. 0.6 of a second a lap separates the two of them going into Rindt. You can see how wide John Olsen is. It could be a slowdown. Oh, that's a big of a cut too. Be careful. You do not want to cut this course. It is very, very vindictive with slowdown penalties, as is Le Mans if you go too far wide. So be careful. And the sausage curb, if the sausage curb doesn't eat you, the sausage curb will inconvenience you. Best way of putting it. Up the hill, past the soon-to-be-dead AlphaTauri. Remus. Oh, breaking in just better on the binders as Javier Mascara in that turn. John Olsen a little bit more slam dunk on the brakes, with Mascara able to close the gap. You can just see peekaboo. There he is. You can see the lights anyway. Old guy's rule indeed. John Olsen would love to keep that car firmly planted right behind. But Mascara, I just think, has a bit of a better line. Not through there anyway. But definitely in that first sector, he's got that braking distance down. And it just kind of shifts and ebbs and flows throughout the rest of the lap. Let's see what happens when we get to the last 5 minutes to see how things shape up. In GT1, Jason Potter has caught up to Paul Carter. Carter, unfortunately, I think he's just lost his mojo. It probably is a Mascara track, to be fair. Potter coming through, wanting to chase down Carter. Crikey almighty. There's 3 of them. Apparently, this is the same as Ross Smith. Ross Smith is the 12th version of Ross Smith. This is the 3rd version of Paul Carter. Through now he goes. 0.3 of a second separate the two of them was to cross the line. 5 minutes to go. 4 laps to go on the current pace. Felipe Paiva setting it nice and handily. 0.3 of a second a lap faster than Yuko Lescala. Really just comfortable up there. Let's get a look at him as he's passing his way through traffic. This is going to be critical because it will push John Olsen back towards Javier Mascara. Mascara just needs to not make a mistake. I think he has. Yes, he has. He's lost 0.5 of a second. God damn it. but it could be that this might push back Seth Whitaker to John Olsen. John Olsen has gained 3/10 comparative to Seth. In the slipstream range he goes. That's Javier Mosquera being passed by Yuko Leskala in the background. You can just see sort of not even really necessarily the big difference in speed, but most definitely, you know, these big GT1s compared to GT2, yeah, you know when you're a GT2, get out of the way, get out of the way. At full pace, comparative lap times 1:25.932 for Felipe Paiva, the fastest. Oh, that's a big plume of smoke there from Seth Whitaker. It's gonna feel that one in the morning when his right butt cheek is nice and toasty. Oh, big slide there from Yuko Leskala, not wanting the line that he got through that set of corners. As I was saying, Felipe Paiva, the fastest lap for him as of right now is a 1:25.181. The fastest lap for Fabian, who's on your screens right now, Shaisheg, is a 1:28.744. I do want to actually see what's on his car. I haven't actually looked. Yes, indeed, fuck MS. That is a good cause to stand behind. You know, it is for charity, so I will say fuck multiple sclerosis, because I know a person who actually has it. Or FUMS, if you wish to do that. Fabian started first, is probably going to finish first, all things considered. Car number 1 in first. Poetic. Very nice livery he has on there on his car. And he hears this man. Felipe Paiva right behind him. Coming through. That's a little bit of a slip up here from Paiva. Probably not the most elegant corner that he ever took through Schlossgold. But I'll allow it. You know, it's coming up to the end of the race. Don't worry about it. Brian Diaz chasing down Stefan Hazley. Or Hazley, sorry. Stefan Hazley. You know, bob and weave, has bobbed and weave his way into 5th position. Top 5 definitely is on the scoring sheets. So nothing to shake a stick at in a car of 15, in a field of 15 cars. Oh no! I've done it again! Oh, poor Hackison. The cameras went straight to him, and off the track he went. Oh dear. Oh, that's the third cursing that the cameras have done now. Jason Potter, by the way, still chasing down Paul Carter. The Paul Carter third in for 9th position. Penultimate lap as they cross the line. Lap 21 out of 22. Tentative. Hackinson, where did he go? Disappeared for a bit. There he is. Potter still chasing down 4/10, separating him and Carter. And Brian Diaz, he is not faster than Stefan Hazley. I can't remember how I said it before. He said it was correct. I can't remember. Felipe Paiva coming around for his white flag lap with 5 seconds left on the clock. He couldn't slow down because this man was right behind him. The time has ticked to 0. White flag this time by for everybody, and it'll be white flag for these boys as they just cross the line themselves. 1 second separating Seth Whitaker and John Olsen between the two of them. As we get ready to see the last lap, the last time these guys will go around this season at this track. Remember, look at Jason Potter. He'll be the crescendo moment. John Olsen could have one or two more chances if a mistake comes out of Seth. Seth slow through there, as is John Olsen, damn it. They won't have DRS anyway, so unless they take off the rear wing, you know. Unless they take off the rear wing, you know, unfortunately they won't be able to use DRS. That'll be a job and a half. They had it like, you know, a co-driver hop at the car, middle of the race, just take off the rear wing. But we should say a very well done, very good victory. First victory of the season for Felipe Paiva, car number 3. Taking it away from, unfortunately, from our guy Yuko Leskila with a big mistake that he had in Roush. Succeeds to gain second place though. Peter Jurka, his first podium of the season. I'd say he'd be pretty happy with that. Car number 10 in the podium. Take a bow, son. David Baraclow in 5th position as Seth and Fabian Scheisseg come home in their respective positions, as does John Olsen. Everybody going home now. And happy as Larry as can be with the boys. Jason Potter coming through. Does he make a move? Does he make a dive? He can't. 0.5 of a second separate him and certain 9th place, where he instead comes home in 10th. Well, very well done to the boys. That was a good race out of them. Very entertaining. Lots of bashfulness, lots of bigness, lots of racing. We do have the race results. But as of right now, these are the current results. Felipe Paiva wins the race in the car number 3, pipping Yuko Leskila 3 seconds to the post, with Jurka 10 seconds down the road. Baraclow in the number 5 car coming home in 4th, with Stefan Hasley in the number 12 car finishing 5th. A very good top 5 for him. I'd say he'd be pretty pleased with that. Diaz in 6th position, 26 seconds down the road. It's Arts then, Hackison, Carter, Potter, Calhoun, McCoy, Koch, Smith, and the only retiree for them, actually, would have been Filippo Calla, who took to the pits and retired the car, as did Ross Smith on the last few laps. Scheisseg wins the race in the car number 1, finishes first. Look at him. Whittaker comes home in 2nd. Olsen in 3rd. Mosquera in the, you've raced this before, haven't you? In the Soviet Mobile in 4th position. And Matson did actually make it home, but a lap down in 5th, as we mentioned. Calla and Smith were the 2 retirees for today. But as I said, very good racing out of the boys. It is a case of the the big races today. I will go back and actually have a look at the start if memory serves. I think it was pretty clean by everybody, which is good. It was pretty clean, actually. Very good, lads. Well done. But as they kind of really fanned out, it was kind of, well, nobody's making a mistake here. We'll just keep racing. And they did, actually. They finished as they started in the GT2 class. In GT1s, however, they definitely did spread thick and thin. Remember, Felipe Paiva started 2nd and had to fight his way up throughout the race. All the way through, fighting as they did. Next week for the boys in GT Thrustmaster toys will be into, I have it here, 1 second. It is going to be Twin Ring Motegi, the Grand Prix layout. Then the week after that will be Daytona International Speedway on the road course, and the Canadian Motor Tire Mo Sports Park. And then my favorite Le Mans, 24-hour Du Mans layout. But until then, thank you very much, everybody, for joining in. Pleasure it is, as always, to bring back the GT Thrustmaster challenge to the broadcast section of Raidillon TV. If you like what you see, click the subscribe button. Click the both of them. As I said, next week, Twin Ring Motegi will be coming to the GT Thrustmaster challenge. Until then, I have been Robert O'Brien. This has been Raidillon TV, the only corner that you all need. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening.